Hey everybody, I'm John Reffett. Welcome back to the shop. What I thought I'd talk about today is a little bit of rod repair. Got a rod here, belongs to a buddy of mine, and you might be able to see he has wore the handle completely out on this thing. It was kind of like a wind grip, similar to the golf club grip that came with some of these Cabela's rods, the Tournament ZX rods. You can replace this and not have to remove any of your guides. So I thought I'd show about the removal and then adding the new handle on, basically same type palm swell, and then we're going to do it's a little bit smaller, but it's a wind grip type handle. You'll just have to slip it on from this end forward, and then we'll try to get it here to where we don't have to do any more epoxy or wrapping or anything like that. So that's what we'll talk about today. And I do have one, don't know if we'll get to it in this video or not, a little bit of epoxy repair, a couple scratches, things like that. It's an easy job, easy fix. But that's what we're going to do. And we'll get the camera moved around and come right back. Okay, so we got it laid out here. I've already started cutting on this a little bit just to try to figure out how we can do this without, you definitely do not want to touch the blank. So I took a razor knife and cut down through here. This handle will be easy to get off that way. Probably take a pair of pliers and pull on. But the tough part is here, the reel seat. That's pretty stout material. So you can take possibly a hacksaw blade, which is going to take a long time, or plunge cutter. But you gotta really be careful, because if you get down into that blank, you've ruined the rod. You'll have to down in here. If you broke it, it wouldn't be worth 2 cents. So what we'll try to do here, I've already cut some, as you can see, and got down into the glue a little bit. Should be able to take possibly a screwdriver maybe and put in and just pop that. Yeah, see, that'll pop right apart right there. I don't know if you can see that. As you can see, it's already coming loose. So a couple more spots down through here with the plunge cutter, and I think we can get that off. Once we get it popped loose, a pair of pliers or some good wrenching on it, and we'll get it loose. But let me take another couple of cuts here. You can see when you hit that glue, it'll start to turn white on you when you hit that epoxy. So let's see if we can pop the rest of it loose. Gonna be stubborn. Some of these rod manufacturers now, I think Cabela's, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they were made by Daiwa. Well, they really did that one good. Another cut. Just have to go easy until you get down to it. I know some people probably cringing seeing me do this, but it's a fairly easy way to get them broke loose. Like I say, it just depends on how much epoxy they put in. I'd say do this very same thing right down through that seam right there, and she should pop loose. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, shut the camera off since that thing's so loud, and I'll go ahead and cut through that, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so we made our other cut here. Like I say, go really slow, just plunge in just a little bit at a time on either side. So take the screwdriver, see, she starts to come right off. Didn't take much force at all. Let's try the pliers here. You may have to just break it off into pieces. Sometimes they do get a little stubborn. There we go. This is where you really see how good your rod manufacturers do. Wow, that thing's on there. Here we may have just a little bit of problem. Concerned about this part of it here sliding back over top of everything, but we'll see as we go. Okay, so we cut down through here with a razor knife. Like I said, this handle's pretty easy to cut through this way. Just when you get to here, be really careful. Let's cut it on the other side. Whoops. My knife didn't want to cooperate. There we go. Now, if you remember a previous video we did on a cork handle, just try to pinch this off here. Yeah, it'll take some doing, but I believe it'll come right off. These are a little bit tougher than cork. It's EVA foam on the inside. So as you can see, what you have to do, you're just going to have to peel until you just get it all off. Being careful not to touch the blank. So I'll get that cleaned up, and we'll do the same thing on this end. Now some of these rods have like a butt cap. You can try, you should be able to break it loose here, I think, with a pair of pliers. And then again, maybe not. Came off. So there's the end of your blank right here, and you do the same thing, just cut here, cut on both sides, and then just start pinching it off with your pliers. So I'll get down to that part, come right back. Okay, so we got the rest of it off same way, just using the pliers to you know, pinch everything off down here on the butt end as well. If you would happen to touch the blank down in here, it's not going to hurt anything. Up here and then up where the reel seat goes, that's where it's going to be critical, because as you're fighting that fish, it's bending right here quite a bit, so depending on the rod power. It looks like this. We got lucky here. Part of our reel seat that clamps the reel on, it's going to slide right off, and that leaves us this little bit to cut through, which should not take much. Let's give it one more little whack with this. We should be able to pop it right off. There, we're good. We didn't touch the blank. Looks like they have a sleeve over this, which if your existing handle would fit over that. Okay, we're going to have to, kind of thinking, we're going to have to take this epoxy and this little bit of wrapping off here, because we put the handle together, fits together like so. See, it's going to be a little shorter than the other, so we'll have to do some more wrapping epoxy work here. But on the front, looks like we can kind of push it up here and cover everything up really good. So I'll get it where you can see it. So you can push it right up against here or over top of the edge of the wrap, however you want to. So once we get the epoxy and this wrapping off, probably take a little sandpaper and clean this up good, because you want your epoxy to really adhere well. So we'll clean all this up, epoxy off, do a little sanding here on either end, and then we'll cut right back, come right back, and See if we can fit the handle up. Okay, so a little update here. We got everything cleaned up. And I'll take this back apart and show you what we did here. But we got the foregrip on. You know, the handle slid right up over perfectly. And I'm sorry, the reel seat and then the handle. Then we've got the butt cap to put on, but you're going to have to do a lot of reaming. As you can see, about the size of that hole. And then you've got to fit over top of the end of your blank. So you have to really ream these things out, but do not ream them out too much. Just so they'll just slip on there nice and easy. And you'll have to winding checks, because up here it got a little bit big to slip over top of this. So we'll probably epoxy over here just for fix a couple scratches. But put your winding checks on there, or you don't have to put this piece on. They make a rubber, it's a cone-shaped winding check that'll fit right up against your reel seat. Makes a nice slope down to it. I didn't have any fit this one where I'd have done it. That's the way I prefer to do one for myself. So, yeah, it's going pretty good here. So I'll get this one reamed out, fit it up, and then we'll come back and I'll take it all apart and show you all how it goes back together. And then we'll glue it up. Okay. So, as you can see here, I didn't clean everything off of here. You don't need to get it, you know, completely back to blank. Here I did because we're going to have to do a little wrapping to make it match here with the red and the gold. And of course our handles were just a little bit shorter than the original ones. So once you get everything cleaned off, just make sure you get the big chunks off, especially if you have to re-wrap here a little bit. Just sand it down really good and make it nice and smooth. So when you go to place everything back, like I said, you're going to have to really ream them out to make them fit over top of the old, because normally you would do it from the front to the back, but this way we're doing it different. Put your front winding check on, it'll just slide right over top of the other. And you can take your foregrip and just slide it up to where you need it. So we're going to barely cover up our red here. Winding check, slide it back towards it, cover up a gap, because there will be some gap there. Then slide your handle on. This one we got lucky here because they already had an arbor here. If you don't have an arbor here, you can make one out of masking tape. Just wrap it around until it fits over that, and your handle just slides over top of the blank, because your glue is going to hold it in. And then your winding, I'm sorry, got ahead of myself. And then slide your rear handle, slide it over. So you want it to fit pretty snug here. So it'll just slide right up. And then it kind of slides into the reel seat here a little bit. And your winding check behind that. And that'll cover any gap that's there. And your winding check that'll cover your butt cap. Go ahead and slide it on. Now they do, you know, they have a flat edge and a tapered edge. Make sure your tapered edge is toward the front. Just slide it up out of the way. Take your butt cap, slide it on. And then when you're finished, that's what you'll have. So you can fix the handle and the reel seat and all that without having to take all your guides off. So and it'll clean that stuff right up for you. But we'll strip it all back down, and then I'll show you about mixing the two-part epoxy. This you don't have to be as critical on. You want to get, you know, about as equal as you can possibly get them, and then mix them for about a minute, and then you can put it on the rod and slide your pieces up. So I'll get all that ready. We'll be right back. Okay, so we got our epoxy mixed up here, like I said, about equal parts. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. Mix it for about a minute. And so the first piece, now you do this backwards like you would normally do it. Normally you got your handle, then the reel seat, then your foregrip. But since we're doing it backwards, we're going to have to go with the foregrip. So put that on. Don't put a whole lot right here, because like I said, it's gonna push it up as you push it on, and it'll go easier. It'll act, this kind of acts like a little lubricant for it, so it'll get you a good amount. Doesn't have to be a heck of a lot. That out of the way. Now the foregrip tapered in goes towards the reel seat. So we'll slide that up. You can see how much easier, and see how that kind of balls it up there. What I'll do is take a couple of toothpicks and just kind of go around like so and get some of that excess off of there. Get some more of it off. And what little bit is left, when you slide your winding check up, it'll help hold that down. So now, get some more epoxy on there for the reel seat. Do it. Slide the reel seat up. Twist as you go. We'll use this knife to get that excess off. And then push it right up against it. You can kind of position it where it needs to be, but this stuff doesn't set up right away, so you got time. Peel our tape back here a little bit, and it dries clear. So if you get a little bit that you know, that has squeezed up against both sides, it'll come right off. It'll come off, or you won't be able to notice it when it dries. And then kind of slide your winding check here. Take another toothpick and push it right up against there. Sometimes you get a little bit of glue, because you want that just as even as you can get it across through there. As you'll notice when you twist it. And make sure there's plenty on it so water doesn't get down in between everything when you're out fishing on a rainy day. It comes off just a little bit. Let's kind of push it in. Too bad. And when you cleaned up, just get you a little piece of paper towel, some alcohol, not too much, and then just kind of wipe around it. Take your excess off. I'll do it a couple of times before I finally get everything into place. Now let's take some of this tape off. Okay. this once. Now we'll go ahead and slide our handle on. Slide it up, remember, twist as you go on all this stuff. Helps get the glue into all the little cracks. It is kind of porous, so get some of that excess off. So go ahead and shove it right on up into it. You probably get some glue that'll squeeze out a little bit. Alright, there we have that. And you're going to get some on your hands. Keep a little bit of alcohol to wipe your hands. Looks like I got a little bit right there. But as long as you catch it before it dries, you'll be good. So now, a winding check to put on here. So I'll take a toothpick, just get a little bit of glue, and just kind of go around the edge here. Doesn't take a whole lot of glue to hold them. It kind of seals up whatever little gap you might have back here, so you don't get any water intrusion. Slide that one on. Remember the flat edge towards the handle. See the glue squeezing up in between it, which is good. We'll seal that off. Peel that tape back. You get to the butt section of it, remember, flat towards the rear. Slide it up out of your way. Get the butt cap down. I like to take a little bit and put down inside the butt cap, especially around the end. Try to shove it down in there. Just work it around. Get it down inside there, right towards the end. And get some on the rod blank. Doesn't take a whole lot here. Slide your butt cap up. Whoops. Do what I just did. It's alright, we can push it right back. slide it up. It's good to make a mark where you need to be. That way you know you're all the way down before you fit it up. This tape off of here. And that little bit of extra glue. And that's about it. Now before it dries up really good, go ahead and line everything up with your guides. Any other work you might need, but you can kind of see right there. I'll get everything good and tight and lined up, and we'll come right back. Okay, so got our handle on. It's all glued up, cleaned up, and got her lined up with the guides. So as you can see, it's pretty easy to do. You don't need a lot of tools, nothing special, other than maybe a reamer to be able to ream it out to fit. But it's pretty simple to do and be able to fix one of your favorite rods, so you're ready to go fishing the next time. But we'll let it set overnight, do a little wrapping here to make everything match, and I think we'll be good to go here. So appreciate y'all watching. Hope everybody has a good day, and maybe in the future, as you can see behind me here, we've kind of dove into the plastic bait making in, so maybe we'll show some videos on that. But thanks for watching. See you next time.